Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the HJC CL Max 3 helmet available at RevZilla.com. Now the CL Max 3 is going to be the newest version of the CL Max line. It is replacing the CL Max 2, and in this video we're going to show you what you can expect for around the $140 price point from HJC for this lid, and we're also going to talk about the upgrades you're getting over the previous version of this helmet. Now, to start things off, this is going to be a modular helmet. So, if you are looking for the entry-level modular helmet within HJC's line, this is the one you're looking at. Like I said, around the $140 price point. This is a polycarb shell. You get one shell size with 4 EPS liners, which differentiate the sizing for this. Now, it is going to be a DOT-rated helmet, and it is going to have 2 intakes and 2 exhausts. Now, you're going to notice the intakes on this are going to be different than the previous version, and we will talk about that venting scheme in 1 minute. But the real story here is the fit, and this is going to be an intermediate oval helmet. That means it's a little bit longer front to back, a little bit narrower down the side of the head, and it's going to work for the majority of you riders out there in the American market. Now, this helmet is going to be slightly heavier than the previous version, because the real upgrade that we're seeing with this now is going to have the internal sun visor, and that is going to be actuated via the top. Now, if you were to bump up to something like the IS Max, and the IS Max is the modular which stood for internal sun visor max, and that was previously the modular that you had to get up into if you wanted the internal sun visor. But what you don't get with this one is you don't get a spring-loaded 3-position sun visor. This is just up and down, and you have to actuate it yourself. So you can go all the way up, you can go all the way down, but you don't get that adjustability like you would get if you bumped up to the IS Max. But keep in mind, the IS Max is adding an extra, $50, $60 to the price tag if you were to bump up to that helmet. So you now have an internal sun visor, but again, this is going to increase the weight. That's where we really started this whole point, was this is now going to be 4 pounds in a medium. So it's about 6 to 7 ounces heavier than the CL Max 2. So let's go ahead and just discuss some of those changes that you're going to see if you decide to bump up to this. Now, the first change you'll see is the vents have changed. So they've changed the design of the actual chin vent. You now get a cleaner line. You've also changed your twin vents up top. So you now have one large central vent, which is actuated with a switch, and you get a massive amount of airflow pushing into 2 direct channels. Now, I like this because it's a lot easier to reach up and flip back for open, down for close, than it is to try and figure out which one of these snaps is in the right position, and you have to do it on both sides. So they've cleaned up the vent design. You'll also notice that with the face shield on this, you're now getting a pinlock-ready face shield included. The previous version didn't have that. So you're not getting the pinlock insert in the box, but you are getting the face shield. So if you want to add pinlock to this, all you have to do is buy the insert. And remember, pinlock, if you're not familiar, is a fog-resistant shield that you can put inside of this, and for colder mornings or for days where you're out there and it's raining and you have a tendency to have the face shield fog, pinlock helps to eliminate that problem. Now, if we spin around to the back, you will notice that the design of the vents have changed around the back as well. You'll also notice as we keep spinning this helmet around that the actual shape has changed. The shell now is a little bit more sport touring, a little bit less aggressive, because they're realizing that the average person that's looking at a modular helmet is probably doing so more for touring purposes, and they're not taking this to a racetrack or anything like that. So it is a little bit more touring focused. You have a little bit of a larger shell to this, and part of that is to accommodate that internal sun visor as well. So just keep that in mind. You're also losing the Bluetooth, the pre-wire, the pre-housing for the Bluetooth for their proprietary unit. What HJC realized was that they wanted to give people options as far as to which unit they wanted to use. So with the new unit, you can use pretty much any of the universal comm systems. We'll clip onto the side, and there are still speaker cutouts for the inside of this. So that opens up your range of options over the previous version. Now, when we were talking about the fact that this is a modular helmet, again, what you're going to see is you have a really nice chin curtain at the bottom here, and this is something that is an addition over the previous version. It's just a little bit of a nicer, thicker feel to this, and it just works to give you a really tight closure when this is in the closed position to help from wind from pushing up. It just cuts down on noise a little bit. Now, moving to the inside. Again, you're looking at a helmet that is coming in around the $140 price point. You are going to have metal posts, which give you a much more secure closure than what you're seeing with some of the other entry-level modulars, which you're utilizing plastic. And if we open this up, we're just going to take a look at the interior. And we'll go ahead and we'll pull the cheek pads out first. And I want to just show the speaker cutouts, because again, you do have speaker cutouts, so it is still comm ready if you want to add any comm system to this. And you can notice speaker cutouts are going to be right there alongside the chin strap, and that is where you would put any of your universal speaker housing. But opening this up, what we're going to see as we pull this out is the cutouts away. But the first thing to show you is the interior with this. You are getting a brow-mounted interior, which is, again, it adds comfort. You don't have the snaps inside the foam, which puts pressure points in your forehead. And you will notice that you have a nice channeled cutout for the inside of this, which helps to push that airflow from the front to the back. But again, really what you're seeing is a refinement over the CL Max 2. And again, the CL Max 2 was a solid entry-level modular helmet. This is getting a slight bump in price, about a $10 to $15 bump in price over the previous version. And that, again, is going to depend on whether you're going with a solid or a graphic. But really what you're seeing for around a $140 price point is a nice upgrade from what you had with the CL Max 2. You're getting extra features like that internal sun visor. You're also getting the pinlock-ready face shield. I like what they've done with the venting on this. Really, the only thing that you would want to consider bumping up to the IS Max for, the IS Max gets you 2 shell sizes, so it's going to be a slightly smaller helmet in certain sizes, and it's going to be a slightly lighter helmet. And again, with the internal sun visor on the IS Max, you would also get that 3-position indication as well. So where this gets you now into an internal sun visor and a modular helmet, if you wanted to bump up to the IS Max, that just adds refinement. But for around the $140 price point, for those of you out there looking at just getting a taste of what a modular helmet can give you, CL Max 3 is definitely an option for you to consider. Now, there's a lot of folks out there utilizing modular HJC helmets on their rides, and if you want to hear more about what those folks have to say, now would be the time to click the info button on your screen, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting this helmet through its paces. If you want to talk to one of our gear geeks as to which helmet is right for you and your style of riding, you can always give them a shout. 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the CL Max 3 helmet from HJC. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.